I sold my bed after doing this challenge, and after watching this video, you might sell it too. But before I get into why I sold my bed, let me go back to the first day I made the decision to sleep on the floor for the first time. You might ask why? Why did you do this to yourself? Well, there was 3 reasons why. First one, and being the biggest one, was the fact that my room had very little space. The idea of getting rid of my bed has always popped up into my head. I thought, well, if I could get rid of my bed, this could increase the size of my room, make my room look bigger, better, and also gives me room to make better videos in general. Second reason was the fact that I was having major back problems. I've heard these claims that people who were doing these challenges have always focused on the fact that their posture and their back pain has been much better. I wanted to test this out for myself because I've always had a problem with posture. If this challenge could help me get a better posture and back pain, I was all for it. The third reason was because it was a challenge. Literally, I was so accustomed to this luxury of sleeping on a bed, and I thought, hey, if I could remove this from my life, could I still be comfortable? I wanted to take on that challenge and see what happens. For the first few days, things were rough. My back was killing me. I was waking up with bad muscle pain. My bones were feeling sore. However, I was falling asleep 10 times quicker than I would when I was sleeping on the bed. Now you might think, that's kind of crazy. How would that happen? Because the floor is uncomfortable and the bed is much more comfortable. But there's a scientific reason behind this, and it's because the floor, it's much more colder than your bed or your mattress. Your body needs to lose temperature at least 2 degrees in order to fall asleep. And on the floor, this happened because the floor is much more colder than your mattress. So that was one reason why I loved it, because I was saving so much time by falling asleep quicker. And another benefit was the fact that my spine position was much better on the floor. When I was sleeping, my spine position was aligned. I had a good curve. It was perfect. But on the mattress, and my mattress was pretty soft, if you have a soft mattress, you notice that your spine tends to bend inwards, which is not great for your posture and not great for your back. So when you wake up, there's a lot of back pain that you're carrying throughout your days. Another benefit I noticed was the fact that I was waking up much more disciplined and ready to get on with my day after the alarm rang in the mornings. And this is because the floor is much more uncomfortable than the bed. The fact that you can just lay down a little bit more on your mattress because it's so comfy. It's so much more harder to get up out of bed than when you're sleeping on a hard floor and you can't wait to get out of bed. It's that uncomfortable. There's no room for you to stay lazy and just scroll on social media when you wake up. When the alarm goes off, you're much more disciplined to get up. Now, after the first week, I was still waking up with bad muscle pain. But the fact that I could sleep 10 times faster than before made the whole process totally worth it. I was starting to get hooked on sleeping on the floor. After week 2, I started to notice that my quality of sleep was getting better, and also the muscle pain was getting reduced. I was getting more used to it at this time. Also, by each night, I was continuously getting better sleep one day after another. And after about a month of doing this, I was like, I'm going to sell my bed. After getting rid of my bed, I noticed, wow, my room is gigantic without my bed. My bed was a queen size, so it was taking so much space. My parents constantly told me, why don't you just get a smaller bed? And I'm kind of glad I didn't do that and totally got rid of it, because the space I got from it was totally worth it. Another benefit I noticed was the fact that when I had my bed, it was so easy to just sit down on it and then slowly lay down and then start scrolling. Have my phone next to me and just start slacking those hours off. But since I didn't have that and I could just take up my bed and fold it, I didn't have to do it anymore because I couldn't. How, what, you just gonna sit on the floor and just scroll? Maybe you could do that, but the likelihood of you doing that on a bed is much higher than on the floor. Now, after about 2 months, I was still happy with sleeping on the floor. Although I noticed one thing, and it was the fact that the claims that people made with the fact that it will totally improve your posture, it will completely remove your back pain, was not so true. I deem it to be false. It helps with your back pain, and it might help with your posture, but it does not get rid of it entirely. I still have back pains, not as much as before, but it's a lot better. Also, with the posture thing, I didn't see much improvement in my posture, and my posture is still bad. So, in order to change my posture, I need to look into different methods other than floor sleeping. While the pros did outweigh the cons in the beginning stages, things quickly took a turn. It wasn't great because one downside I was noticing was the fact that every single day I would wake up with my arms completely asleep. And this was due to the pressure of the hard surface of the floor impacting on my arms, and it was cutting off circulation from my elbows. And it was weird because I would sleep on the floor and it would be a hard floor, and every single day I would wake up and my arms were entirely asleep. And I don't think this is good. Even though it goes away after a few minutes, I didn't really enjoy that process. I was kind of feeling weird every day about it. Another downside was the fact that last week I caught the worst flu of my entire life. And sleeping on the floor has not helped it a bit. And in a matter of fact, it has made it even worse. Every single day, my flu would get worse because of sleeping on the floor. And this was because the floor is cold. So when you're sleeping on the floor with just like a small blanket, you don't really get better. Usually after I sleep, my cold or flu or whatever the sickness or virus I have, it tends to go away after a few days. But sleeping on the floor did not help that at all. So if you're catching a cold, I advise you not to sleep on the floor. Now, all in all, was this challenge worth it? 100%. The fact that I could fall asleep 10 times quicker than before was just a total miracle for me. Sleep is always something I've been struggling with for the past few years of my life. And the fact that this one simple habit change could drastically improve my sleep quality and falling asleep quicker, what made the process totally worth it. For a while, I don't think I'm going back. If it wasn't for this challenge, I would probably never figure out why the heck do I always have problems with sleeping. Will I continue this challenge? Yes, due to the lack of money at the current stage of my life, I will probably do this because it is very cost effective to not have a bed. And selling your bed can probably help a little bit with mattress money. But as long as I can gather up and save up some few bucks to get another mattress, that is much better for my back, and also the fact that it could be much more harder than my other mattress which was pretty soft. I would definitely do that. Also, another idea that popped into my head was a Japanese shiki buton, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is a very traditional mattress that you sleep on the floor. It's probably the best option to go if you want to sleep on the floor because it's much more comfortable than just laying on a blanket at night with just carpet flooring. Do I recommend this? Yes, I do. If you're having trouble falling asleep, definitely give this a shot. In the beginning stages, just notice the fact that it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard the first couple of weeks. Just push through. And if you want to discipline yourself more, this is a good opportunity and a good challenge to take note of. And I think it's a good strategy to do so. Anyway, thank you for watching. See ya.